All right, we are live, and today we've got something really special. I'm going to call it the best estate-grown wine in the state of Indiana, maybe ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's called Unglaciated, and it's made by the Huber family in southern Indiana, and it's actually the namesake of it is the fact that the glaciers 10,000 years ago basically stopped um, just south of Indianapolis. And so, while northern Indiana is extremely flat, anybody who's ever driven from,
From
here to Chicago knows that fact. But southern Indiana is not. It's beautiful rolling hills, and as you get down closer to the Ohio Valley, they can get pretty big, pretty steep, and created this sort of unique region. And so when the people have been making wine in southern Indiana for a long time, but Ted Huber, John Butler, and some others were instrumental in 2013 actually getting that turned into an official AVA, or American Viticultural Area. So this is it's essentially what that means is it's recognized as a unique wine growing region.
It is.
The wines are unique.
Right.
Jill, maybe.
It's the Indiana Uplands, and it is actually, this particular vineyard is the highest vineyard in Indiana, and it actually has limestone soils, the same limestone that makes the Kentucky bourbon so delicious. Limestone, as you know from Champagne or Burgundy or any other really great wine region, is kind of the bedrock of delicious wines. So we had the Huber family make this for us. This is very exciting.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So normally, like non-vinifera, maybe you could speak to that. So like grapes that are basically,
So Lambrusco.
yeah, grapes that are from here, wild grapes, they'll tend to have kind of this like foxy character to them, a little bit of like a wild taste, and not vinifera, not like Cabernet, Merlot, etc. This has got Cabernet, a bit of Chambourcin,
Blaufrankish, which is traditionally an Austrian red grape.
Petite Verdot, a little bit of Tannat, and a little bit of Malbec. So it's got a nice blend of grapes, and it's a 2016 vintage. So I think from the report we've got, wet July, but then it really dried out through the rest of the summer, and so the grapes were extra ripe at harvest time, and ripeness is kind of the basic.
We're always looking for phenolic ripeness in any sort of wine. It really gives the sugars for the yeast to eat, but then once the yeast kind of reach their maximum potential in the sugar, it still has a good amount of fruit but still being dry. So.
But the point is this: if you're a wine lover and you want to drink Indiana grown wine, not just Indiana made wine.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people poo-poo this sort of thing. I mean, either it's the Moscatos of the world or fruit wine, but this is actually like a world-class wine that's made here in Indiana, that's dry, that you would not be ashamed to put on a table with friends and have a steak with.
Yeah, this is a fantastic wine. So let's. So this spends a minimum of a year in oak, 60% French oak, 80% of all the oak they use is used, 20% new.
I mean, you get a little bit of wood on the nose, but mostly it's kind of a blue blackberry jam, and not even like in like a sweet way, but just in a kind of concentrated flavor way.
Yeah, and you were saying earlier this reminds you a little bit of like a Lodi region.
Yeah, definitely has that fruit forward feeling to it, but it also has a little bit of that kind of dusty cedary note from the wood that I think people really enjoy. I think
Nice.
It kind of balances out really well.
Yeah. Dry, nice weight on the mid-palate. Definitely pick up a little touch more of the oak on the finish, and some of that cedar note as well. But it's balanced. The fruit is ripe. The oak is in balance with the fruit. It's just a fantastic red table wine that came from grapes that are grown on Indiana soil. So we're calling it the best in Indiana. You buy it and be the judge. But we were
I'd say give it a
super
go.
excited about this wine.
How much is this gonna go for, Matt?
$14.99.
$14.99.
$15
That's
for
totally doable.
$15 for really what I think is the best estate wine that you can buy in India.
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
As the scent